a very important topic today, as during the pandemic, many people understood the importance of psychology, and they wanted to learn more, understand more what's happening, and so in that point of time, it is very important that we know more things about it so that it will be helpful for us. And in psychology, you all may be knowing about Sigmund Freud. Freud was a very important person in psychology. He actually told about play therapy. When he was starting his therapies, he always said that play therapy is really, really very important. But that time, there was not so much of a demand in that. And as years passed, there were two pointers who also advocated about play therapy. And that is Anna Freud, that is Sigmund Freud's daughter, and Melanie Klein. Melanie Klein always said that play therapy is a non-verbal way of expressing ourselves and understanding ourselves better. Most of us are introverts, extroverts, but we don't open up that easily. But when we play, we are better able to understand, and most of the time, our stress goes away through play. Uh, any of y'all, do you all like play? Anybody, you can put up your hand and say. Okay, Nidhi Goel, do you like playing? Okay. Yes, anybody else? You want to say something? Okay, so play therapy is something where we, like to be ourselves, and many people have this opinion that play is only for children. Before I show you the PPT, I will show you a small video where you will come to know play is actually used in many things, especially in many of the psychological problems, but we don't pay attention that much to it. There is a movie where in that play therapy was used, but at that point of time, India or many other countries in the world didn't know that this was part of play therapy. So I will be presenting you that first. So that movie, all the things which were used, that was all play therapy. Play therapy has sand tray therapy, play dough therapy, and also music. Music is also part of therapy, and it's a very important part actually. Puppetry, that's also therapy. Then we have is using different types of role modeling, that is also therapy. So I will be showing you now the PPT and also explaining to you. So many a times we are always told that children play and adults don't play. It's not true. Play therapy is actually for everyone. It started out at something which they said that, children have a lot of emotions, but they don't know how to express. And the best way to do it is through play therapy. So they started first with children, And I'm sure as y'all were kids, y'all also played and enjoyed yourself. And that time y'all didn't bother about the world. So there was no stress. When you play, you don't bother about anything. You just play. But as research has taken place, there are 50 years of research of play therapy. It has come that play therapy can also be used for teens, adults, and even for old people. Now there are certificate master's courses in play therapy, because play therapy can be used also with CBT and also along with medication if you have any psychological problems. Also, play therapy now is used for many of basic problems such as patience, expressing emotions, turn taking. And as you saw in the video, the child improves the handwriting. That's also part of play therapy. So your gross motor skills, it helps a lot. So many of the time there's a notion that adults should not play. What will other people think? But why have you have to think about other people? Play is something which is very natural, and from small we are used to. And when we play, we are able to understand ourselves better. You come to know your leadership roles in that. It's very important that even as adults, we should play. I'm sure on your mobile phones, you all play so many games. But when it comes to outdoor, how many really play outdoor games? Very less compared to if you tell them, go for a walk. Also, people feel that no, let's not go for a walk. I'm tired today. So play is something that it's very important. But when you see in the garden or when you see in a park, you will find only children playing and adults sitting and chatting. I would say that everyone should be a child. You are a child in your heart. Bring out that child out. That's very, very important. Importance of play therapy. Play is for everyone. It also helps in language development. If you go to preschool environment, there is more of playing with different types of play like blocks, Legos, all these things. And also children make friendship through that. If you are watching a group of people playing and you are new in the building, obviously you will stand in the corner and see how they behave, how they are playing. And after 2 3 days, you will approach and you will say, may I play? And when you play, you follow rules, you are disciplined, you have patience, you take time to understand the rules. But then once you know, you become so confident, and once you start winning, that makes you feel motivated to do better. So there's so many things which come into play. Then it's an easy way to express. So like for example, like if you want to remove your anger, your stress, people usually, I have heard, they love playing tennis and basketball. They feel that the ball which is used in basketball or a tennis ball is the stress which they hit, and that makes their stress become less. Insight into problems and solutions. Sometimes while playing, there is this thing in psychology called insight learning. You come to know that some problems are you only have made it up. There is no problem at all. And sometimes you want a solution, and while you play, you understand how to get through that solution. So it gives you a lot of knowledge about many things. So, sand tray therapy. Sand tray therapy was first uh, developed by Margaret Lowenfield, and she always said that sand tray is a way where you can, express yourself through naturalistic ways. If you see the sand and touch it, it's very therapeutic. Anything in nature is very therapeutic. There is a video which I will show where how through sand tray a person comes to know their problems. Just a minute.
been talking a bit about your family, and sometimes telling those stories is a bit hard. So I thought today we might try something. This is a sand tray, and I thought you might like to choose some of the symbols and maybe place them in the sand for me. Would that be okay? So to start with, maybe you'd like to put your hands in the sand. Just put your hands in and just feel it. Just move it around. Just get the feel. How does that feel? Soft. It feels okay. This demonstration shows the client exploring the sand tray for the first time. Maybe you'd like to make some hills or something. Yeah. Feeling the sand centres the person into the sand tray space. Basic landscaping of the sand sets the scene for their story by making mountains, valleys or rivers in the sand. Because we've been talking about your family, are you ready? Maybe you could choose some symbols for your family. Definitely. The person then takes their time to choose their symbols for the session, the objects they will use in the sand tray. These will represent the who and what in their story. Some people find it hard to choose figures or symbols to represent other people in the sand tray. Put yourself first. The client may need help to associate the abstract qualities of a person with an appropriate figurine or symbol. Allow plenty of space and time for the person to create their story in the sand. I see that you're very close to your dog. Is there anyone else that you might like to add to the story for yourself too? My best friend. Your best friend? Excellent. Would you like to add them too? Mm. The counsellor does not interfere in the process. They observe the developing story, taking notes or making sketches as it progresses. When the person has finished creating their sand tray, the counsellor and client might discuss it together, which can help the client to put their story into words. Is there a story you would like to tell me about this? My best friend and I are closer than my parents and I. Same with my dog and I. I can see that. But my dog's closer to my parents. Oh, okay. Chaz, would it be okay for me to record this and take a photo of what you've made in the tray today? Yeah, finished today? Definitely. Recording the person's sand tray sessions photographically and through sketches preserves the sequence of the developing narrative. It also allows the counsellor and client to collaboratively review the story over time. I wondered if could you do me a drawing of what you've made today in the sand? Would that be okay? I'll give it to a guy. Okay. That's great. Okay.
For those people who couldn't hear it, it was a teenager who went for counseling, and the teenager is having some issues, and she's not able to express it. So the counselor says that you can take any toys from the shelf, and you can tell what's going on. So the sand, first she tells her to touch the sand, and the sand, she says, is very soft and it's nice. And then she puts her parents, a dog. Okay, the dog is her parents are far. Then there is the dog. Then there is, she takes another toy and represents herself. And then she says, I want to put another person who's very close to me. So she takes another figurine and puts next to her. So she says that my parents are more close to the dog, and I am also close to the dog, but I'm more close to my friend. So here you come to know that the child is having problems with her parents. There is some communication gap, some problem. But as a play therapist, we are not supposed to ask questions like why, but most importantly, we need to ask questions like what, how, when, where, because that helps to have an open-ended conversations. Then rather, when you ask why, the person starts to only give you yes or no type of questions and a small limited type of questions. So here you need to ask the permission from the person who is your client, whether you can click photographs, whether you can make notes out of it, because it's very confidential, and we respect the client. The client has to feel safe. That's why it is important that we ask the client about it. So in play therapy, usually the therapist or the counselor is the one who asks questions. She or he can also say to the child, asking permission whether we can also play. If the child says no you can't, then you shouldn't force yourself into playing with the child or the teen or an adult, because they want to be in their safe zone, so we should let them be in that zone. Meaning of sand tray: sand, it's naturalistic, and it is very sensory, because our five sensory skills, like touch, sight, these are all very important for us. That's why they say that we need children to play outside and get the warmth of the nature. Naturalistic way of having the warmth is to be in nature, and sand is something which is natural and which you find in beaches. Nowadays you get this sand tray online where you can order it, and you can also get these small toys which you can use. Otherwise, it is also said that you can use, if you have not got sand, then you can use is rava, that is semolina, or rice, because many people don't always have that ready made at home, the sand, and sometimes sand is not available. So these are household materials. And also certain toys, they are metaphors. Toys are known as metaphors in play therapy. So if you don't get those toys, then you can use household items like clips and nail polish and hair bands or pens, pencil, anything of that. So it's very calming and comforting. Sand tray therapy is very calming and comforting. Benefits: it's a safe environment, autonomy, it gives you independence to make your own stuff, and you will not be judged, or you will not be told not to do it. You have full independence to do it. Negative emotions to vent out. So through sand tray, many of the people try to vent out their negative emotions, by showing how they were harassed by people, by showing different toys and personifying it, that this toy represents my friend who bullied me in school, or this person is my partner who was in class trying to tease me. So all these things, and then we can ask questions like what would you do in that circumstances. So then the person will say, I would have done this. So the person gets an insight that how next time, well, he or she has some problem, we know how to deal with it. We don't give them solutions, but they find solutions by themselves. Also, sand tray many of times has been found out, it's very useful in finding out verbal abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse. So children are not able to tell it, or sometimes even adults feel shy and shame in discussing all these things. But through sand tray, they will give different people name, and they tell what that person went through, and you get a better insight to find out what is wrong with the person. Building confidence. So here, you can have confidence building when when you feel shy, or when you feel that you're not able to face people. So what would you do? So then we can use those toys and say, like, that client can use the toys and say that, I will try speaking, or if I'm scared, try to speak with my close friends first, then I will start increasing my group, and then I will be able to face the other people also. So as the sand tray is done, the person also tries these things in the real world, and then they get the confidence and come back and do the sand tray therapy again. So sand tray is something that, it's a 30-minute session where sand tray people do it because it takes time to understand. And if it is not done, the client keeps it as it is in the clinic, and next session when they come and work on it again. Sometimes the kid or adult will not do anything, will just keep quiet and sit. Okay, and they that is also therapeutic, that is also calming, because they are thinking what are the ways which will be useful to understand and do this sand tray therapy properly. We will not force, as a counselor, therapist, or psychologist, to do this and do that. It is their liberty, their choice what to do. So that is the benefit of sand tray therapy. Useful. It is useful for ADHD, bullying, peer pressure, abuse, anger, stress, negative thinking. Some of the times we don't understand the kids, parents, teachers, adults also don't understand other adults. There are problems with parents and teens. So, when they do this sand tray thing, you understand what are the problems which are there. There are so much of stress, and that stress makes us to behave in certain ways. So when we are able to put it visually on a sand tray, we come to know what are the problems. Sometimes we don't know why we are angry, or what is the reason of stress, but when we put it on the visually in a sand tray, we understand what's going on in us. So activity time. Everybody may be having. I had told to get rava, that is semolina or rice, and a small box. So do you all have it? Do you all have it? Okay, so you put your rava in that small box, or rice. Okay, now I had told you all to get some items like pen, pencil, or clips. So I would like you all to depict uh, a bad day in your life, like or the people who created bad things in your life, through those items, and give those items certain names, maybe people's name, or you can just say A, B, or C, because you don't want to say the name. So you can say A, B, or C, and what really happened. So you can depict that in that tray. You can use how many ever items you want. You can take time. Yeah, take a small box, put the rava or rice in it, okay, and depict a bad day or bad thing in your life, and the people or the circumstances or the things that happened through clips, nail polish, or uh, through earrings or anything, any of your items. Give it a name, maybe A, B, C, D, because we don't have to tell the name of the person. So do that. That's it. Just do that. Are you all done?
Madam, please tell me once again.
Yeah, it's take a box and put rava in that, okay, and then depict a bad day or bad time in your life with the people who made it bad or the circumstances, and give each item certain I mean A, B, C, D as a name. We don't want to know the name of the person and all that, so you can do that way.
Okay. We can write in that, okay?
Is everybody done? Simran, have you done it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Uh,
ma'am.
what you have done? Okay, nail polish. You can see nail
Can you
polish.
say the-
Yeah, I can see nail polish. Yeah. So,
Yes, ma'am.
what those nail polish represent?
Um, Ma'am, actually ये मैं और मेरी फ्रेंड है.
ओके, आपकी फ्रेंड और आप हैं. ओके, तो कुछ हुआ था उस टाइम.
यस मैम, लड़ाई.
लड़ाई हुई थी. तो आपको ऐसा नहीं लगता कि मतलब कुछ ऐसी चीज लाइक हम कुछ कर पाते उस टाइम तो वो लड़ाई नहीं होती? अभी आप देख रहे हो उसको.
Yes,
तो
मैम हर टाइम ऐसा लगता है, हर टाइम.
हाँ, तो अभी आपको ऐसा मतलब आपने विजुअली देखा और ऑब्वियसली आप जब बना रहे थे तो उसको देख के ही बना रहे थे, तो आपको ऐसा लगा कि सिर्फ वो ही गलत थी या आप भी गलत थे?
मैम मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मैं ज्यादा गलत थी. मतलब हर बार मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मैं ही गलत थी. मुझे ऐसा लगता था वो ठीक थी या फिर मुझे बात कर लेनी चाहिए इस टाइप से.
हाँ,
हर बार मैं खुद को ही ब्लेम करती हूँ.
तो हमेशा मतलब आपको नहीं लगता कि झगड़ा में सिर्फ एक इंसान गलत होता है क्या? आपको ऐसा लगता है कि एक ही इंसान गलत होता है?
मैम अगर प्रैक्टिकली सोचे तो ताली तो एक हाथ से बजती नहीं है मैम, है ना। लड़ाई तो करते तो दोनों इंसान से होती है, पर जब मैं सोचती हूँ तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मेरी गलती है, या फिर मुझे सॉरी बोल देना चाहिए था उस टाइम, अगर गलती दोनों की भी थी तो। मैं बार बार मैम उस सिचुएशन को सोच के मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मेरी गलती थी।
तो आपको नहीं लगता कि यहाँ पे कम्युनिकेशन का प्रॉब्लम है?
मैम मैंने कोशिश करी थी कम्युनिकेट करने की, बट हुआ नहीं, क्योंकि वो मूव ऑन कर चुकी थी और मैं तो वहीं थी। मैम मैं अभी तक वहीं हूँ, क्योंकि मैं उस चीज से बाहर नहीं निकल पाती।
सो समवेयर यू हैव रियलाइज्ड कि कहीं ना कहीं जब स्टार्टिंग में, अभी भी आप जब देखो उसको, आई मीन इन द सैंड ट्रे, तो आपको ये नहीं लगता कि कम्युनिकेशन की वजह से सब कुछ बिगड़ गया?
यस मैम, कम्युनिकेशन ही प्रॉब्लम है, क्योंकि अगर मैं उस टाइम कम्युनिकेट कर लेती तो शायद अभी तो ये सब नहीं हो रहा होता। तो कम्युनिकेशन ही प्रॉब्लम है।
सो सी समथिंग विच इज मे बी आपके दिमाग में ये बहुत टाइम से चल रहा है, और आपको मतलब आजकल मतलब गुस्सा भी आता होगा कि यू नो, और यू मे बी नॉट, मतलब आपको ट्रस्ट करना भी, दूसरों को ट्रस्ट करना भी डिफिकल्ट हो गया, क्योंकि आप ये सोचते होंगे कि कहीं कम्युनिकेशन का प्रॉब्लम ज्यादा ना हो जाए।
यस मैम, बहुत ज्यादा मैम, 3 साल तो हो ही गए हैं।
हाँ, तो
3
इसलिए
साल
ना
हो गए,
आपको वो
लेकिन
3 साल वाली बात अभी तक याद है, मतलब वो कहीं ना कहीं दिमाग में है, राइट?
यस मैम।
सो दैट इज सैंड ट्रे थेरेपी। आपका जो 3 साल का चीज आप किसी को बोल नहीं पाते होता होगा, पर यू नो आप विजुअली जब देखो ना, तो आपको ऐसा लगता है कि कहीं ना कहीं हमें कम्युनिकेशन करना चाहिए था, चीजें अलग हो जाती। करेक्ट?
यस मैम।
ओके, थैंक यू सिमरन।
मैम पर इस चीज से
या
थैंक यू।
यस यस, से
पर मैम इस चीज से बाहर कैसे आए? इस चीज से बाहर कैसे आए? प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन है?
वो आपको भी पता है कि अभी कम्युनिकेशन वो नहीं कर रही है। अगर वो नहीं कर रही है कम्युनिकेशन, तो फिर हमने अपने साइड से ट्राई किया, जैसे आपने बोला कि आपने ट्राई किया पर कुछ नहीं हुआ, तो नाउ यू हैव टू मूव ऑन। उसने मूव ऑन किया, तो हम क्यों वहां के वहां रुके? हमें भी आगे बढ़ना चाहिए। आपने एक लेसन सीखा है कि कम्युनिकेशन इंपॉर्टेंट है, तो अभी आपको नए दोस्त बनाने हैं और कम्युनिकेशन अच्छा रखना है। दैट इज द थिंग ऑफ योर सैंड ट्रे थेरेपी विच इज कम आउट, कि आपको कम्युनिकेशन ज्यादा अच्छे से बढ़ाना है। किसी से भी एक्सप्रेस करना है, कुछ भी बोलना है तो तुरंत बोलो, टाइम मत लगाओ। दैट इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट।
थैंक यू सो मच।
वेलकम। Anybody else who is done?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, Manu.
Yeah.
What have you done? What is this? What is your sand tray saying?
Pen cap.
What is it?
Pen cap. Pen cap.
Okay.
It is puzzle.
Okay.
Puzzle thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Earring.
Okay. So what is this actually representing?
Yeah.
What is it representing? Okay, anyone else who wants to show? Then we can go to the further slides. Anyone else? Anyone? Anyone? There's no right and wrong. Nobody's going to judge you. Hello? Can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anybody wants to do it? Dinas, you want to do it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what's your sand tray telling?
It is me. It is my father, and it is my uncle.
Okay, so what is this about?
My uncle is between me and my father.
Okay, so is there a problem which is happening because of that?
Yes.
So what would be a solution for it? What solution can you think about it?
Mm, I don't know.
Does your father listen to your uncle more or to you?
Uncle.
Uncle. So, and what is your communication with your father?
Uh, it is good.
It is good.
But my uncle is elder, so my father listens to him.
Okay. So the point is, but that is how you are thinking, right? That your father listens to your uncle more. But obviously, a father loves his or her child. So, have you tried talking about certain things to your father?
Yes, ma'am.
So you need to be in, as I said previously, communication, which is very important, and that is the way it builds up. So your dad respects his elder brother, but at the same time his own is you, right? So you also should be more expressive. When you are expressive, then only you will come to know what's happening, right? And whether your father is listening or no, you need to build that communication.
Yes,
Understood, Dinas?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we will move to the next slide. Okay, so play dough. Many of times you all have seen that people use clay, but in play therapy, we always say that play dough is more useful because it is chemical free, and sometimes children, they want to taste everything, so they try and eat that. So while clay is something which is chemical and is bad for health, but play dough doesn't have any chemical. If it goes into the stomach, it will not cause any problem. Okay. I said in the items clay or chapati dough, because everybody doesn't have play dough. Okay, so what is easily available, I mentioned that. But in play therapy, we usually use play dough, or we encourage is a chapati dough, so that is easier, and that is more safer also. So play dough was actually invented by a teacher called K Zufold, and she did that in her when she was a preschool teacher. So she did that so that the children are safe and they enjoy what they play, so nobody can stop them that don't put it in your mouth, don't do this. And usually when you play with clay, you need to wash your hands because the chemicals are in your hands. But here you can make your play dough at home also. So there is it's a home thing, do it yourself type of thing. So you don't have that tension that it is going to be bad for health and it's going to cause a lot of problem. Okay. Benefits: it improves handwriting, Play dough is used a lot by occupational therapists. If you have seen, for those people who have a very bad handwriting, weak handwriting, counselor, psychologist, occupational therapist, we use this a lot so that the hand grips, gross motor skills, fine motor skills are improved. Okay, so motor skills like putting buttons and all that, so we can play button games. So these are also in doing play dough. We can tell to make animals, we can tell to make snake, or we can make balls, or we can put small beads inside the play dough and tell the child to remove the beads out. So these help the motor skills a lot. Calming effect, anything which is sensory gives a lot of calming effect. You all must have seen the smiley balls. When people use that, they use that during stress to relieve their stress. Same way, play dough also is used to release stress and make it very useful, so that we understand what that stress can be solved only when we can calm ourselves down. So that this is very useful for calming ourselves. Helps in thinking. So when we are doing the play dough, we have become very creative. Okay, we try and make different things. As you saw in the first video, the child actor, he does so many things with the play dough. What is using is play dough. So he makes elephants, dogs, cat. So you're using your creativity. People also decorate their pots, or make something very unique stuff by play dough. Okay, so improving social skills. Also, social skills can be improved. You may be thinking how we can make small people miniatures, and then we can put them around us, and we can give a speech. Okay, we can think that it is an audience, and we can give a speech, and then we can see how improvement happens. So this helps in social skills also. It is used for many people who have social anxiety, social phobia. So you can train the people before the event, so that they are able to visualize that event through those small play dough objects which we have done. We can personify it as a human being or as people, and give our speech and understand where we are having the fright or our trigger points, so that we can improve ourselves on that. Creativity, as I said, many people use creativity in making these things, like making some people even make dolls. They make lovely dolls out of play dough, and they also make showpieces. People sell these things also, which is very different. That's why many people buy these things also. So this becomes a commercial thing also at some point of time. People who are very good at it. Hand-eye movement, which is very important. If a hand-eye movement is not proper, so there'll be a lot of difficulty in coordination. It also helps in focus issues. When we are focused on something, then we are able to understand, study, be productive. So these things are very helpful in that. Useful language improvement. We can make somebody who is an adult who doesn't understand English. We can start with alphabets through the play dough by putting A, B, okay, by making numbers, or making small triangles and showing them this is a triangle, making them do those triangles. Aid in visual skills. So once we see things visually, we come to know better about what are the things that are troubling us. Okay, better focus. When we are doing a play dough, our full focus is in that, and we don't think about other things. We don't overthink about different things. We only concentrate on making the best. Anger management. As we get angry, and usually people remove anger on people, on objects. So as a psychologist or counselor or therapist, what we do is we tell them to do a play dough, and then take toothpicks. This is one of the things, to take toothpicks and prick the object which they have done. So they're removing their anger out, same as darts. Darts also, we use darts to remove the anger out from people. So, there are different games which are used to control your anger, stress. We are able to make something like a pyramid with play doh, and then, use different colors to represent our triggers. So that way we will be able to understand what are the causes of stress and how we can control it. Improve in ADHD. ADHD children lack focus, and they lack impulse control also. So in this way, we are able to make an ADHD child to sit in one place and do the play doh, which he or she does it very well because they are giving complete concentration. So when that improves slowly, it won't happen in 30 minutes altogether, but it will happen from 5 to 10. You will see progress in the child. So many of the adults also, when they are stressed, who have ADHD, they use this. Even children, teens, also it can be used for people who are adults who are having certain problems, who feel lonely. They can do this play doh, and they enjoy this because that is calming them down and they feel better about themselves. So activity in play doh. You'll all have your chapati dough of clay, what I told you all, right? So, what is the good thing that you like about other people? Good thing that you like about other people that you can see in an object like a cake, or maybe an animal or an object. So, make it into a play doh. Like anything, you can make a cake, or you can make maybe a smiley face, or what you like about a certain person that you can relate it to an object. Make that in the your clay or chapati dough. Did you all understand? Did you all understand?
Can you explain that once again?
Yeah, so supposing you like a person, your friend, or certain qualities about your friend, so make that what are those qualities you like, that you can represent in an object like a clay, like sorry a smiley face, or an animal, or or cake, anything what you feel that represents the person with these qualities. Understood, everybody?
Yes, thank you.
Welcome. Has anyone finished? Anyone is done?
I haven't made it, but can I share my thoughts? What I would like to really start so that Rahul bhi aise bhi baat karni hai.
Yes, Nidhi, you can share your thoughts. You can show it also.
Ma'am, I haven't made it. Like I'm having my kid with me, so he's not allowed to with that. So
Okay, so what have you made? What is it about?
I like qualities in people. So I want to meet son which represents qualities.
Okay.
Son, and that son represents qualities of the people.
Okay. So, what qualities you are attributing to this thing? Actually, these are qualities about you. These are the things which are there in you. Don't you think? If you go to analyze, supposing if I would have told you without these things, what are the good things in you, you would have taken so much of time to think about it. But when I told you about it through an object, you easily came out with this. So whatever we attribute to somebody else, it is actually our positive qualities which we like, and that's why we see it in that other person. Okay.
Very nice.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Ma'am, I have made a smiley face and it depicts the
Okay.
optimism. It depicts the optimism of my mother. That whenever I am shattered or very negative in negative state of mind, she instills in me hope and optimism. And matlab, she's always cheering me up. You can do it. You can do it. She never says you cannot do it. She's always cheering me up. So that's what I have depicted. I've just made a clay
Okay.
with the.
Okay, so don't you think, Jyoti, that you want that optimism or that characteristic of your mother in yourself?
At times I am like that. At times people say I'm a fountain of positivity, but at times I'm totally the reverse.
Yeah, so you feel right, you should be 24/7 like that.
Yes, I do feel that I should be optimistic and I should be calm in all situations. Whatever life throws at me, challenges I face in my life, I should face them with a calm mode, mode of calmness, because there are two type of things in our life. One is which we can control and the other is which we cannot control. So, what I feel like is what I cannot control, I should not panic about it. And what I can control, I should put in efforts for that. And with a positive mindset, I should work to change what I can.
So don't you think you got a lot of insight with doing that play dough?
No, I don't know.
Because you said so much. I mean, this is what is there in your back of your mind, but you are, you are trying your best, but somewhere you feel that you are not doing your best in getting that.
Yes, because there are a set of limiting beliefs
Yeah.
which
So
stop me,
yeah,
me from taking an action.
that's why. So that is the reason you made this, because somewhere this is your goal, long term goal, where you are struggling to get it.
Yes,
Okay. Thank you, Jyoti.
thank you.
Anyone else?
It is flour
Okay,
and
Dinas. Yeah.
this is flour.
Okay. So what who does it represent?
My niece is like she spreads positivity and happiness. That's why
Okay.
I
So somewhere you also like that quality and you feel that you should also have it?
Yes, ma'am.
You feel, right, that I mean, this is your niece, so your niece is small,
Yes, 4 years.
so you feel that maybe I should also be like, how a child is. Like, we all want to be like a child, but then we try to be an adult and then everything is gone.
Yes, yes, very true.
Yes. Thank you, Dinas. Anyone else? Any last one I am taking, then I'll move forward. Yes.
Yeah, Dr. Bharti, this is a son, smiley, with laughing face. This is my husband. He's always very positive, and even if there is some negative thing happening, still he gives me confidence, more confidence. You can do it. He'll keep on trying. He's also a doctor. Even being a doctor, sometimes I get very depressed. As I have a very small daughter, she's very lovable and she's very brilliant girl. I can't manage her, seeing my clinic, everything. So I have represented herself as a heart for her. She loves me more, but because of my stress, I sometimes shout at her, but still she loves me more.
Yeah.
So I have given her heart, and for my husband, he's like a son. He's very bright and he always is very supportive. Still, I get depressed sometimes. So I have represented them like that.
Okay, that's really nice, doctor. But somewhere you feel that you want to be like your husband, like, always positive and always showing, you want to show that love to your daughter, right?
Yes, yes. Because of more work and stress, I couldn't show it somewhere.
Yeah.
So
that's why you are somewhere that is making you depressed, don't you think?
Yes, yes, yes. Sure.
So
I understand.
In fact, you have done your world in such a small thing. This is your world.
Yes, yes. Yeah, correct. Very correct, ma'am.
So see, you have got an insight about your world. So this is your world and you need to work for this.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Sure.
Yeah. Thank you so much, doctor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll move forward. Okay, so we are having a 2 weeks, 16 hours training workshop on play therapy. And the highlights of the topics are anger, stress, patience, expression and emotions, self-regulation, self-esteem, social skills. This everybody, who's interested and who wants to learn can do this, because we all need all these things in our life and we need to manage it. So we will be learning about how to manage anger, stress, how to be patient, how to be expressive, and at the same time, self-regulation is very important. How to have a good self-esteem through play therapy, and how to have social skills. Like, we have a lot of social anxieties, so how to use these social skills in play therapy and understand ourselves well. So the takeaways that we are giving is resources, that is material, PPT and handouts, case discussions, practical exposure, e-certification of participation. This is going to start on 16th April for 2 weeks, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Fee is 1,500. Early bird discount is there. And those who do it by 10th of April, they will have 10% discount. So you can register for it. And there is first come, first serve, limited seats are there. So y'all can do it as soon as possible so that you can reserve your seat. Any questions regarding play therapy, or y'all can ask in the chat box and I will answer to that. Yes, you all will be getting the recording sessions. Anyone who wants the PDF notes, PPT worksheets and certificate, you all need to register. Okay, the link is there in the group.
Ma'am, can we make the payment for this workshop via NEFT?
You can directly, there is a link in that. So you can do, it's there in the group. So you can do it, group, in the group, everything is there. So you can do that. How can we manage mood swings in child? Children are, they are, they love playing. And the best way I would say is, through music. There is an instrumental music. Then there are games where you can play music, and you can tell children that what you are going through. Let's do smiley faces and understand it. So through that, the child will understand the different moods they are going through. We can have a mood box, and we can draw and express. So through that, the child will be able to understand. First of all, the child doesn't know that they are going through mood swings. So first you need to visualize it, and then after that the child will understand what should be done. So we can play games with the child, and or role play, or we can show the child that how like through a doll, how the child is affected, or how that doll is affected through the mood swings. So like that, the child will realize how the mood swings can have negative effects on others. Y'all can, Rizwana, you can contact, there is an email address in the group of the Mind and Thoughts. You can contact through that, and you can get in touch with me. Yes, you can repeat these activities in sessions, because sometimes activities don't get over in 30 minutes, and the children are thinking. Every child will not come out and open out easily. So it takes time. So whatever, supposing if the child has done a play doh, he or she can keep it in a corner, and the next session they come and they do that play doh activity again. Okay. Anybody else? Any more questions?